Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be different from all my other videos. We're gonna learn more about me. So people ask me, like, how do I know a sign? Am I hearing? Am I hard of hearing? Am I deaf? Like, what am I? So my parents, they're both hearing. I have one older brother and he's hearing. And so I am hard of hearing myself. I do wear hearing aids, and when I was born, I was hearing. The doctors, they don't know really why I became hard of hearing, but when my mom was pregnant with me, she fell. She fell, and the doctors gave her a shot that can make me deaf or blind, and to stop me from being born. So when I was born, they thought, she's good, she's great, she's fine. And then when I got older, my parents, they saw that maybe I wasn't hearing. I wasn't responding the way normal babies should. So they brought me to the doctor again, and they did a lot of tests, and they just realized that she's hard of hearing. And that's my whole life, basically. So the deaf culture has been amazing. My parents did put me into speech therapy when I was younger, so a lot of people do think I am hearing because I am oral and I do talk. It's just I do wear hearing aids, so I can't hear people from behind, and every day is kind of basically my hearing's different, not one day is the same, and it is hard. Definitely in school it's hard. When I was younger, I hated my hearing aids. Other kids would make fun of me and stare at it, and I used to wear FM system, so they're huge headphones, and it was just embarrassing. I didn't like it. And my audiologist actually tried to help me with being it's okay, it's fine, it will help you, don't worry. And my mom and dad were just put them on. We paid a lot for them, and I just really didn't like it. And so I did have a difficult time in school because of it. It's hard for me to understand accents. My boyfriend's from Brazil, and he does have an accent. It's very small, but sometimes it's kind of hard to understand what he's saying. So I just ask him to repeat it, again, slower, again, thank you. But a lot of thick accents I don't understand. A lot of hard of hearing people don't understand it, since I do read lips. I might be oral, but I still really heavily rely on reading lips. That's why a lot of people think I'm hearing, because I do talk, and that they think that I do hear them. I just honestly I do lip read a lot, and if you're behind me and you're trying to have a conversation with me, it's just not gonna happen. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a bitch or anything, it's really hard for me. But I do want to talk about the deaf community and the assumptions people have about it. Being hard of hearing or deaf is something to be proud of. It's not a disability that a lot of people think it is, and how hearing people don't want to learn ASL because they think they can cure it. The deaf community is such a prideful thing to be a part of, and I love it. They're so accepting of even hearing people who have family members who are deaf or hard of hearing, who just know ASL. They're so accepting of them, which is great. But I am very fortunate to have my parents, because they know education, and they helped me get into speech therapy, and they got me hearing aids, and if I did go deaf, I know that they would learn ASL. But I know also 90% of deaf people are born into an 88% hearing family, and they don't learn ASL because of what they think society will think of them. And that's so wrong, that's so terrible. Imagine not being able to communicate with your family or your mom or your dad or your brother or sister or anyone because they're embarrassed of ASL. They think that other people will be wow, like, they're deaf, they're dumb. Like, I've been told, are you like deaf and dumb? And like, no, I'm just hard of hearing. Like, one day I might be deaf, I don't know, but it doesn't mean that the deaf community is dumb at all. That's wrong. It's a bad assumption. It's just something that hearing people need to understand, and to learn the ABCs will help so much. But like, I do have to say that like, I did not accept my hearing loss as much as I should have when I was younger. I was a kid. Like, I hated being stared at. I hated everything that went along with it. Like, I just was embarrassed, which is kind of understanding, because like, what kid wants to be different from their other like friends, you know? Like, I had to be in front of the class, and like, school was just much harder since I had to read my teacher's lips and she wasn't facing me. It was just hard to like understand. I didn't want to ask for help because then I'd be behind my other like peers, and it was just hard. So if you see someone who's deaf or hard of hearing, just like understand, like, they might have some struggles and challenges, but just help them. Just be like, okay, do you need help? What do you want? And to approach a deaf person, ask if they want to text, if they want to write, anything. Or like, if you know the ABCs will be helpful, you can just finger spell it and then they'll say the sign. I also want to talk about mainstreaming. Mainstreaming is where deaf or hard of hearing individuals go to a hearing school. So there are deaf schools, but they're far. So a lot of families don't want to like move, or they can't drive to deaf schools, so they mainstream their kids into hearing schools, which is also hard. I was mainstreamed because I wasn't that deaf, and my parents didn't know if I was going to become deaf, or if I was going to be hard of hearing, or if it was just like a kid thing and I was going to be hearing. So I was mainstreamed. It is hard in public schools. A lot of teachers, like, they don't care. They just like, honestly, they could care less about hard of hearing individuals and deaf people. So that is something to be like challenged of. If someone does go to deaf school, it's great for them. If not, that's also great. Whatever like their family wants. But you do have to understand that going to a deaf school is a privilege. Like, a lot of deaf people, they don't go to school, or they just drop out because they can't get a job. Almost 90% of deaf people don't get jobs. They don't work. It's just really hard for them because no one wants to learn ESL for them, which is so sad. I think that's so sad. Everyone should have the right to communicate, no matter what society thinks, what you think. They're so smart, and you should be more accepting of them. And I do just want to say thank you to my mom and dad. They were super helpful, but a lot of deaf and hard of hearing individuals don't have that support system, and they were amazing, and they really got me the help that I need, and like, they continue to help me. They are extremely excited that I started this channel, and my boyfriend Mark, when I first like met him, I kind of like didn't like tell him I wore hearing aids because I knew what like other people would think about it. So when I did, it was kind of like weird. He was like, oh, okay, great, good for you, like, great job. And I was just like what, like, you're okay with it, you're fine, okay. And then he thinks it's like, he tells people like it's amazing that I know ASL, which is so great. And he's the one who helped me start this YouTube channel, and I'm so thankful for him for helping me accept who I am. And yeah, so if you have any questions about the deaf community, they're amazing. Go to any deaf events. Deaf people are so kind. Like, they're so kind. They will welcome you. I met a deaf woman at work once, and she wasn't looking at me, and I said, hey, like, I didn't sign, but I like said, hey, what's up? How can I help you? And she didn't say anything. So my first thought was, she's deaf, so like I signed. But like, hearing people's first thought is like, she's me. But I was like, are you fine? And she said yes, and she was so happy. Her face was smiled so big, and she asked me, are you deaf? I was like, no, I'm hard of hearing, I know, sign though. And then she's like, oh my god, my husband's in the car. She called her husband in, and I I learned about her children. She has 3 of them. If you're watching this, hey. You were so nice. But she asked me if I knew other deaf people around, and I honestly don't. I met one person at a party, and he was hard of hearing, and we talked about how we don't know other deaf people, but once you like meet a deaf or hard of hearing person who knows ASL, like the community, oh my god, they will accept you. You'll learn everything about them. Like I told her I was from Connecticut and how like the deaf school is the first one in the country, so go us. But yeah, if you have any questions, just ask and learn the ABCs because everyone should communicate. Thank you for watching, and yeah.